Kevin versus Bruce, an unfortunate end to a legendary band. REO Speedwagon has always been one of my favorite bands. They were the first concert I ever went to back in the very early 80s. That was the High Infidelity Tour. I went to that show to see REO Speedwagon, but the opening act made an impression on me and quickly overtook REO as my favorite band. That opener was none other than 38 Special. But this video is about REO and the increasing mudslinging between Kevin and Bruce. I've seen REO a bunch of times over the years, and recently twice in 2023. March at the Four Winds Casino in New Buffalo, Michigan, and then again in September in Fort Wayne, Indiana at the Frolinger Theater. At the show in March, we got there early as we always do, and we happened to see Bruce walking through one of the public areas of the venue. I kind of shouted, "Hi, Bruce." He put up his hand and he said hi, but he kept walking, which is certainly fine because I know he was preparing for the show. One thing I did notice was his walk. He was very hunched over, and you could tell time and age were not being kind to him. During the show, there were more signs that his back was ailing him. I commented to my wife, "He didn't look bad, but it was obvious we might be seeing the last shows," figuring it might be time to call it and retire. On November 7th, 2023, Bruce announces that he is undergoing a back surgery. In the announcement, he highlights he has been powering through a traumatic back injury and would be unable to perform in the last couple of shows for 2023. Also citing a team of doctors who are confident he will be ready to rock in early 2024. On November 20th of 2023, Bruce's wife, Kimmy, posted that Bruce had the surgery and everything went extremely well. He has been up and has taken a couple of steps. On December the 10th, Bruce writes, "My surgery was a huge success and I'm getting better every day. Can't wait to rock with you all in 2024. Fast forward to June 14th of 2024 and an update posted by Bruce where he states, "It was my intention to be back on the road again by now, for sure." He says he is cleared to perform by his doctor. He goes on to state, "The consensus feeling is that I don't have a good enough posture to perform at the level expected by our fans." He mentions he is still in physical therapy and playing guitar and bass every day to get back to performing. On September 16th of 2024, we get the announcement. Due to this complex situation, irreconcilable differences arose between Bruce and Kevin, so it is with great sadness that we announce REO Speedwagon will cease touring effective January 1st, 2025. Here we are, February of 2025. Kevin has moved on and is touring as the Kevin Cronin Band, which is literally the same five guys that were REO Speedwagon less than 60 days ago. Up to this point, the chatter and speculation on the internet seemed to be that Kevin was some evil menace that stole the band from Bruce. Over the last couple of months, there have been threads on various platforms where Team Bruce fans would leave comments, and the narrative seemed to be making Kevin out as the wrongdoer. On February 15th, comedian Dean Delray publishes a video interview with Kevin, and here are some of the bullet points on what Kevin had to say. Kevin was instrumental in getting Bruce into the band. Matt Bissonette was brought in only as a sub for Bruce until he was able to perform again. Kevin was thinking when Bruce did come back to keep Bissonette and become a six-piece band. He goes on to elaborate that he needed Bissonette as an insurance policy. Kevin was told through an attorney that Bruce would be willing to sit out all of 2024 if he got paid as if he was still touring. Bruce was never quote-unquote fired. Bruce said he would be ready to come back in 2025, but his return would be accompanied with some demands. Two demands in particular were of note, and Kevin said one of those demands would be irresponsible to go along with, and the other demand would be impossible to go along with. He does not elaborate as to what the specific demands were. Kevin stumbles for words a lot during the interview. I can only imagine how hard it must be for him to tell his side of the story without actually giving the details of what those demands were. And I can respect that effort. Kevin spends a few minutes talking about how the internal bullshit of a band is not really for public consumption. Just like any family, bands fight, they mistreat each other, they make up, they forgive each other, and they move on most of the time. I watched the interview a couple of times through. Without knowing what those two demands are, it really isn't possible for us fans to pick a side. Are we talking about something like no brown M&Ms in the dressing room? Or could it be that Bruce wants a stool to sit on for most of the show? The vibe that I get from seeing them live over the past few years is Kevin still wants to live the fast lane rock star life. He looks pretty good for being 73, and when he performs, he's pretty high energy. Maybe Kevin feels having an old man sitting on a stool would make the band seem less energetic. We probably won't know what those actual demands are. Personally, I think age is a badge of honor. I would love to see Kevin introduce Bruce as the guy who has toured for 50 years and needs the stool as time has not been kind to his ailing back, but man, look at this guy still rocking hard. It works for Peter Frampton. Peter Frampton literally needs assistance to get to the chair on stage and plays the entire show sitting down. I saw him back in March of 2024. I didn't hear one single person complain about the chair. Instead, the theme of the comments in the crowd seemed to be what an amazing guy he is to keep touring despite hardly being able to walk. Going forward, what should we do as fans? Well, that's entirely up to you. It's your money, it's your time. It's your choice whether or not to buy a ticket. The summer tour, Kevin has paired up with Styx. Will this have the same results as if it was billed as REO and Styx? Only time will tell. Tickets have been on sale for over a month, and yet in Tinley Park there are still 2 front row seats available. Sure, they're $1,100 a ticket, but I think that's in the ballpark of what those seats will sell for. There are a lot of tickets still available, and at much cheaper prices the further back from the stage you go. So there you have it. At this point, I think you can stick a fork in REO Speedwagon. As Kevin tours as the Kevin Cronin Band, it's probably too late to go back to being REO. We can hope. Time will tell. Bruce wants to be back on the road again. Kevin wants to keep pushing without Bruce. Yeah, I know. Those puns have been abused. Until next time, this is Mark, and keep on rocking.